Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
Hi, I'm DK Will, and this is DK Will Talk About It. And I'm going to start out this video with a bit of a confession, a bit of a catharsis. I know the last video I did, I mentioned to you that I was eating ice cream. And I just finished eating some more ice cream. And I tend to like ice cream. Ice cream is my crack cocaine. My first wife, I used to buy a half a gallon of ice cream when they were a half a gallon, not 48 ounces, but 64. And I would start eating ice cream. And I would look at her and say, save me from myself, which means come and take this container from me, or I'm going to eat the whole thing. Well, I've been working on it on my own and with my current wife to get better at it. But I still buy her treats to keep her away from my ice cream. I like butter pecan. I like Rocky Road. Right now I'm eating something called fudge almond chocolate or something. I don't remember. I like the nuts in my ice cream. I like the chocolate and I like the buttery flavor. So I'm going to put that confession out there in case I get a little tongue twisted on this video too. I like ice cream. And as much as we're all looking at money, you can see my little signs I put on this screen here. You can't buy happiness, but you can buy ice cream. And that's kind of the same thing. So say no to drugs and say yes to ice cream. Okay, that's my public service announcement for this video. So now let's cover some news, rumors, opinions for Friday, the 29th of September in 2023. And some excerpts from the Restored Republic via a GCR from Judy Byington. Judy has a Judy note after a headline, Global Currency Reset, Possible Timeline. Possible timeline. Keep grounded. Judy note, on Thursday evening, 28 September, just as I was about to send out the below update, I received an email from a high-up contact which stated, quote, the can has been kicked down the road for another week because the U.S. Treasury is still under cabal control, and they want to charge a 25% tax on exchanges. Looking for Friday, October 6th to be the real start. Close quote. Judy continues, since I am unsure as to what is really going on, I have not changed the below as originally written. I urge you to do your own research. You don't need to urge me to do that because I'm certainly going to do it. And you don't have to worry about me getting caught up in dates. And I'm encouraging everyone else not to be caught up in dates because it's really more caught up in events and developments and geopolitical matters and global financial matters. That's really what's going to make the difference here and what we are looking for. Because we are looking for a global currency reset. And Walking Stick says, who is an Iraqi citizen and bank owner, in parentheses. Didn't know that. It says the tender for the currency and coins has been met per request, meaning requirements for release of the new Iraqi dinar exchange rate has been fulfilled. Wolverine says the funds have been released and placed on the quantum financial system. Mark Z says there's a lot of expectation for announcements sometime today being Thursday the 28th when he put it out. Now we are on the 29th, and you can see why I say stay grounded. Don't jump on dates and rates. It says we have some wells in states without Wells Fargo banks get contacted by out-of-state Wells Fargo saying that they are prepared for them. They are going to be mad at me for using the Wells Fargo name, but it's happening. That's according to Mark Z. And as you all are aware, I've done many videos regarding the quantum financial system. I have done sufficient investigation to believe that it is absolutely a real deal. Continue on, it says, as per the Central Bank of Iraq, the new dinar rate implementation date was Thursday, 28 September. On that Thursday, 28 September, Iraq abolished the dollar in its currency auctions, with a 90-day notice that all U.S. dollar transactions must be in Iraqi dinars before the currency auctions closed for good. Frank said a 10-day process will start on Thursday, 28 September, where there will be a gradual and automatic increase in the value of the dinar. The Iraqi people will receive their HCL proceeds, and Iraq will ascend into the World Trade Organization so that on Monday, 1 October, the WS Bank, what is the WS Bank? Branch would be open for business. Okay, it's the 29th, folks. And I haven't seen any developments to show these things to be true. If I do, you'll find out as this video continues. Moving on, it says, Friday, 29 September, that's today, was expected to be the beginning of the stock market crash. Once trading hit a sell-off to 20%, the stock exchange would close all trading for a cooling off period. That's easy to check on, and I will here in a moment. On Saturday, 30 September, Tier 4B, that's us, the Internet Group, would receive notification to set exchange and redemption appointments, which would last for the next 12 days or until Wednesday, 11 October. TNT Tony says, everyone is saying it will be done by the end of this coming weekend. Well, let's go find out about that New York Stock Exchange real quick. Taking a quick trip to the New York Stock Exchange.com index. Just by scrolling down, we can see that according to this website, on the indices, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down less than 1%. The US 100 index is down less than 1%. The composite, New York Stock Exchange composite, is down less than 1%. The S&P 500 is down less than 1%. So we're not seeing the 20% crash right now, are we? We're not really even seeing the beginning of it, and it's 2:40 my time. That makes it 3:40 Eastern Standard Time, and there's very little time left for that sell-off to start this week. Okay, continuing on. The Chinese Communist Party defense minister went missing. Then the CEO of the world's largest real estate company, the CCP's Evergrande, went missing. Now Evergrande shares have been halted on a stock market that was already in freefall. While, since U.S. House Leader Kevin McCarthy rejected a Senate plan to keep the U.S. government open, the odds soared for a U.S. government shutdown by Sunday, 1 October. Any or all of which could easily bring on a global financial crisis that would trigger a global currency reset. The first 2 weeks of October, NYSE should pay out reclamation funds. Sunday, 1 October was the first banking day of October in the Mideast and was also the start of the new U.S. fiscal year. It goes on to say by Sunday, 1 October, all banks were required to be on the gold asset-backed quantum financial system rather than the old SWIFT system based on the fiat US dollar. Now, I've said this before, I'll say it again. I used to talk to my dear friend Dave, who's passed on now. He used to go by the handle Snowflake. And I used to tell him, man, aside from expecting it to be like this, I told him I really don't want to do an exchange until it's the gold-backed money, because I think a lot of bad guys are going to be playing with the fiat money and be stuck with worthless, no good, nothing money. Now, may that happen, may or may not, but is there a change going to where it's gold-backed money? Absolutely. Will they probably look out for citizens? And if you have money in the bank, make the conversion so that it doesn't hurt you? Possibly. But since we don't know whose side on whose side, and there's corruption in Iraq and corruption in Iran, the last thing I wanted to happen was for it to change over during the fiat system and then make the ultimate impending, unstoppable change to the gold-backed system, and then we're stuck with fake fiat dollars on the wrong side of who's good and who's bad in the monetary system. So the good thing about once it's gold-backed, it's real, and it's what Judy Shelton says. It's good, sound money. Moving on, it says on Sunday, 1 October, the new gold asset-backed U.S. note will be announced and active. That's something all of us can look for and check to see if it occurs, or if not. Now, a lot of times when I read these events and things in anticipations, they don't happen. And who's lying to who's tricking who, I don't know. And that's why we stay grounded. And we look with our own minds at what's going on to see what's possibly could be happening. With the change to a new fiscal year, things could happen. With a collapsing fiat monetary system, things could happen. With the BRICS nations building themselves up to where they're 40-some% of the global GDP, things could certainly happen. With them switching over to a gold-backed money, things certainly happen. But that's all part of the narrative to get it done. Like I've been saying from the beginning, you got to get the little guys ready before the big guys get on board. The big guy being the United States. So they can give you whatever narrative they want about BRICS and everything else, but that just is getting everybody ready for a gold-backed, asset-backed monetary system, because you can't trade gold leaves for maple leaves. And since the United States has all the gold, they can't go first because that means there's nobody to play with. So you get the little guys ready through whatever BRICS narrative you want, and then when everybody's ready, the U.S. finally acquiesces, put that in floating quotation marks, and they come on board with the gold-backed monetary system. Why wouldn't they? When according to the figures that are revealed, the United States has all the gold. More of the gold. You get my point. Going on, it says a new international rate for the Iraqi dinar could be made public on Sunday, October 1. And on Sunday, October 1, bondholders will be notified to set appointments with their funds available to them on Monday, 2 October. And on Monday, 2 October, was the U.S. incorporated government shutdown, expected to set off a worldwide financial crisis. On Monday, 2 October, the stock market would reopen, while sell-off continued until another 20% again was expected to trigger a close of all trading until Tuesday, 3 October morning. Okay, so we've already checked and we don't see the sell-off happening as anticipated. So that's why we stay grounded. Will it start on Monday, October? Maybe. We'll see. It's going to crash sooner or later, but we'll have to wait and see. And as I have said, the 589 that's tied in with the XRP community, I've often considered that it could be 589 COMEX is what it means, where there is a halt to trading. So only time will tell, but what we know so far is that we can't verify some of these things that are said. Okay, that doesn't mean these people are lying, but somebody is being misled. Okay, that's as easy as we could put it. Moving on, and the last one on October 2nd, Tier 4B would be notified to set exchange and redemption appointments, with appointments starting on Tuesday, 2 October, according to instructions given to redemption centers. Okay, so there we see that they're talking about it happening on 2 of October, and earlier didn't we read that it was going to happen on Friday? I mean, so that's why I give this information, folks, but I say stay grounded. And of course, since this is DK, we'll talk about it. Well, I'm going to have something to say about it. It goes on to say on Tuesday, October 3 has been officially designated as the National Day of the Republic of Iraq to celebrate Iraqi freedom from the U.S. Incorporated. That has been confirmed in my prior video. Yes, that's going to happen. On that Tuesday, 3 October, Iraq would likely declare that they were a sovereign nation, although their sovereignty would be announced in connection with the announcement of the new DINAR international rate on Sunday, October 1, ahead of time, apparently, 2 days ahead of time. Well, we don't know, but what we do know is in the last video, I checked and confirmed that absolutely the Prime Minister's closing the government and they're going to celebrate their national day, which would imply what's there to celebrate if you still got the boots on your neck from other countries. So we shall see. I'm not going to read anything in it. It goes on to say again that on that same Tuesday, 3 October, the stock market was expected to continue to sell off. When it hit 20%, it would be considered the point of no return and would close. Okay, so maybe that's why it didn't start today. Maybe the goal is until it falls off to 20%. But right now, at being about a 0.5%, they're not moving very fast, are they? And it goes on to say on Wednesday, 4 October, Iraq would be welcomed to the World Trade Organization with a fully reinstated Iraqi dinar international traded currency. Wednesday, October 4 was also considered the day when the official stock market crash would happen. A test on the worldwide emergency broadcast system had already been scheduled for Wednesday, 4 October. Okay, well, that is something we can also check right now. And I did. And as you can see, excuse me, I scream, at the FEMA with nuts, at the FEMA website, you can see that FEMA and the FCC plan a nationwide emergency alert test for October 4th, 2023. That is confirmed from the source. It says test messages will be sent to all TVs, radios, and cell phones. Now, the release date of this was August 3rd, 2023, but now we're talking about it. But it was released almost 2 months ago. And it says that from Washington and FEMA, in coordination with the FCC, will conduct a nationwide test of the EAS, Emergency Alert System, and Wireless Alerts, WEA, this fall. The national test will consist of 2 portions, testing the wireless emergency alerts and the emergency alert system capabilities. Both tests are scheduled to begin at approximately 2:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday, October 4. It says it will be directed to all consumer cell phones. The third nationwide test, but the second test to all cellular devices. The test message will display in either English or in Spanish, depending on the language settings of the wireless headset. So they are absolutely going to do this. And since this is about giving an update on the Iraqi dinar news, I'm not going to read this entire article, but it is most certainly happening. And I do remind folks that in one of my videos, I talked about being prepared. And there was some mention of that in the Restored Republic's actual website. And I appreciated that. And I wanted to share that with you because on it says it's only wise to put away a month's supply of food, water, cash, and essential supplies for yourself and to share with others. I love that ending, and to share with others. All right, now the cash, I don't know about. I told you guys what I think about cash, but are you prepared? Even if it weren't this, would you be able, have you set aside not even if you don't have a go bag, but maybe a survival bag for your family where you have the water set aside, you have the food set aside, where you guys can sustain yourselves for a week, 2 weeks, a month, at least? Well, as you know, I advertised a site that I go to. They're not sponsoring me. I just use them because I got so much for my money. I'll probably share it at the end of this video too, and that will hopefully keep you watching the video. But the emergency broadcast system testing is going to happen. Continuing on, it went on to say that by Tuesday, 10 October, the bulk of redemption appointments and exchanges were expected to be done. Well, if that's the case, everybody's going to be sitting on a lot of money, aren't they? Probably tied into the quantum financial system, like I mentioned earlier, so they know where you can spend. You probably won't see it in cash like this image is showing, not so much. And then on Wednesday, 11 October, there's another possible EBS, Emergency Broadcast System. Okay. On 1 November, it was the goal to have currency exchanges and Zim bomb redemptions completed, at which time the U.S. federal dollar would be considered worthless. Now, just a brief mention on that worthlessness of a federal dollar. I also think that's what's going to happen to a lot of the cryptocurrencies that have no value beyond speculation. I think they're going to be considered worthless. Matter of fact, I think there's a possibility and a strong possibility that in the legislative process that they will also be considered counterfeit because they are going to be certain to make sure they scare everyone to get away from them. And as has been said oftentimes, 99% of them are going to go to zero. It goes on to say in November, Social Security would be paid out in much higher payments. So if you are a Social Security recipient, then you can expect to see a raise. That would include me. The SSR&R payments start on a monthly basis beginning in January 2024. Now, I don't know. I know Social Security, I guess, reclamation and restoration payments. I don't know what the R&R stands for, but here's what I do know. I do know what UBS stands for, no matter what other acronyms they put on it, Universal Basic Income. And I do know, as my videos have shown in the past, that the best way to control it is to put everybody on an artificially intelligent controlled monetary system that monitors you biometrically just as well as any other ways, so they can control your spending. So if they're giving you the money and they're controlling the system that they put the money into, they absolutely will control your money. On January 1, 2024, the fiat US dollar will be worth nothing. I am reading. That's not me stating that. I am reading that. And then starting 1 January, all currencies across the globe will be on par 1-to-1 with each other. That's a portion of the Dinar Recaps, News, Rumors, and Opinions from Friday morning, September 29, 2023. And Bruce, on the big call, touched on some of these items as well on his Thursday call, the 28th of September, where he mentioned that Social Security payments for ages 70 up will increase up to $5,200. The new international rate for October 1, the gold asset-backed U.S. note active on October 1, bondholders October 1, probably where Dinar Recaps got a lot of this information that they're spouting out. And it's a repeating of some of the things that we've already covered, just to but put a finer tooth comb on it. He said that the second week of October, the restitution and reparation funds, that's a good guess, will be given out for seniors over 60 in a lump sum. For ages 50 to 60, they will be paid out over a 12-month period. And for ages 30 to 49, it'll be paid out over a 15-year period. So there's a plan for that universal basic income, no matter what name they put on it. It goes on to say, at each redemption center, 3 De La Rue currency machines to verify the currencies. So 3 appointments could be going on at the same time. If you are below the age of 60, you have to have a job to receive the R&R benefits. So if you don't have a job, you don't get paid. Each country will be minting and printing their own gold asset-backed currencies. Now, I believe that, and I believe XRP is going to be the transition point in making those cross-border exchanges. And it goes on to say, from Dinar Guru, Mountain Goat said about Iraq that the question is, will there be a cap limit on the dinar when exchanging? The answer was yes. The IMF will place the dinar initially on a managed float, and I was told around a $9 cap. But that was years ago, and things have changed. Absolutely. I don't believe what I'm reading, but I'm going to read it to you. I would be surprised if we witness up to $12 before they cut it off, if that even happens. Okay. Dr. Shabibi told us in 2011 that the dinar back then could sustain a rate of $16. That's a fact. I've seen it. I've shown the video in some of my videos. That did happen. They are now pumping 2/3 more oil and have agricultural experts now and also 132 tons of gold. They are filthy rich. I am seeing a constant rate of about 380 to 425 USD range on the back screens at the bank right now. So those are some mentions that are being given in regards to the possible exchange rates, of the Iraqi dinar. So in the end, folks, the point is there's a lot of things left to question, and we don't know the answers. And quite frankly, I don't think the people who are talking know the answers either. And I will emphasize that point by saying this has been going on for years, where there's been dates and rates been given, but nothing has occurred because it's always been bigger than just the Iraqi dinar. We are going through an entire global financial system reset. The global currency reset is true. Now, all the narratives behind it are designed to make you be distracted, keep you involved. Matter of fact, almost keep you immobile if you allow it to do so. And in the meantime, they're literally letting people die off as well. Because if you think about what I just read about the way they're going to do the payouts, apparently the older you are, the more you get. The younger you are, the less you get, because it's spread out over time. And if you don't have a job, you don't get anything. So if you were going to give out money, wouldn't you want the older ones to go away? The more go away, the less you got to pay. I'm not saying that's the case. What I'm saying is stay grounded. But these are the news and information available on today's Rumors and Opinions. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I hope you share. I hope you like the video. I don't want to get caught in the loop of doing Iraqi dinar videos because I don't believe in hopium, but I get a lot of response, so I'm taking advantage of it and I'm sharing this information. By the way, I got a hit on my other video, but they were nice to me. I don't even know. I had MSN.com news articles and they said that they were like hype or something like that. But nonetheless, this way I get exposure, I hope. And if you have seen this, I hope you go watch some of my other videos. I hope you like. I hope you subscribe. I hope you share. I hope you comment. And I'm DK Will. This is DK Will Talk About It. And I've talked about it. Have a wonderful day. Have some ice cream.
Consider getting prepared as best as you can, as they have said we need to do. And what that means is now first let me state, I use this outlet, Legacy Food Storage, and have bought things from them. I am not sponsored by them. If you choose to use them, drop a bead for me and maybe they'll hunt me down and start sponsoring me for drawing attention to them. But there's other places out there, Patriot, this or that, whatever. There's other food sources out there that store emergency food. But if you haven't stored emergency food yet, you might want to start considering it. How many people do you need to survive for, say, 2 or 3 months? If you have 2 or 3 months, 2 or 3 people, 2 meals a day, how many servings will you need? Do you have enough water? Have you been collecting water? Do you have a filtration system if you have not? What if you have to hit the road and can't carry water with you? Do you have something to clean water so that you can drink water? Because without water, we die. More importantly, have you committed and created yourself a survival kit and a bug out kit, a bug out bag? Have you gotten a bug out bag ready like it says here? Deluxe 2-person bug out bag for only $160. And with this bug out bag, look at all the things you get. You get the backpack. You get the first aid kit. You get the tactical flashlight. You get 2 3,060 calorie food bars. You get gloves and forks and spoons and tents and hand warmers, and you don't have to go do it separately. GI can openers. I don't get sponsored by these folks. I wish I did. What I'm doing is sponsoring you.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.